Seriously, buy my condo. That's what a lot of people are doing on their balconies, screaming it off of their condo apartment right now. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. I have your latest market report for week ending November 1st. Before I get into things and really talk about the numbers, then I've got some really interesting numbers to talk about. It's like the tale of two worlds right now. I do have some housekeeping things I want to clear up. My cheat sheet is right here. Okay, so Remembrance Day is coming up November 11th, and the Poppy Fund that helps to support Canadian veterans and their families is not like it's going to be in the previous years. They're not a lot of times able to stand out there because of the health crisis they're in and remind you to buy your Poppy. So I'm just doing a little thing to help out. There's a link below where you can donate online. So keep the Canadian veterans in your mind. Link below. Any donation would be, I'm sure, appreciated. So that's one. If you like these videos, please like them, subscribe to the videos, share them. If you don't like it, don't do nothing. But if you like the video, subscribe, hit the like button. Really appreciate when you do that. And I've been receiving phone calls from people that watch these videos. And just to be clear, so you know, I love the phone calls. I love the comments. Please comment below. But I love the phone calls because I'm able to properly speak with you and analyze whatever situation that you have real estate wise and help out properly. So through dialogue, through questions and answers, call me, text me directly. I welcome that. And comment below which month you feel condos are going to hit their rock bottom price. I'm really curious as to what you have in mind there, and I know some of you get all excited about what's going on in the condo market. So here's your chance. Let me know below which month you feel condos are going to hit rock bottom. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to first talk about Vaughan, freehold, and condos. Then I'm going to get into Toronto, the city of Toronto market, freehold and condo prices. Okay, so looking at Vaughan freehold, sales did drop a little bit. We've sold 3 properties for week ending November 1st at $2 million or more. Now, average sold price has shot way up. That's a huge jump from one week to the next. Now, there is a property in there that sold for over $10 million, which for sure affects the price. But I can tell you, prices are going up. The $800,000 properties in Vaughan are now at $900,000, $950,000. The $1 million properties in Vaughan are now $1.2 million. There's lots of competition. I could personally tell you from doing market evaluations, from going to listing appointments, people thinking of selling, wondering what their house is worth, just comparing what's sold in their own neighborhood, prices are going up. No matter what market segment you're in the freehold market, prices are shooting up. When we look at where we were pre-lockdown prices, I mean, for this last week, we're way higher, over 20% higher than we were pre-lockdown. But generally, over the last couple months, we have been higher than we were pre-lockdown. And the beginning of the year started off extremely strong. That's why I use the pre-lockdown price as kind of the point where are we below where we were before the lockdown, or are we higher? Vaughan freehold, we're higher. Compared to last year, now blue are last year's average sold price. The orange is this year's average sold price. When we look at how many properties sold at $2 million or more, they're both the same, sitting at 3. So that doesn't play into the fact that this year we're over 25% higher when it comes to the average sold price. Now, that's just a week, in one week ending November 1st, this year compared to last year. But the week before we were 23% higher. The week before that, 5.1%. The week before that, 22%. Generally speaking, overall, we're much higher than we were last year's average sold price when it comes to Vaughan freehold properties. Prices are going up, have been going up for a while now. Is your home worth 25% more? It's hard to say. Some are worth a little bit more, some are worth a little bit less. That's an average sold price. I would have to look at your immediate neighborhood and compare it to properties just like yours to let you know what's happening with your home. But overall, generally speaking, we're way higher when it comes to freehold properties in Vaughan than we were last year. Sales, remember the orange is 2020 and the blue is 2019. So sales have kind of dropped for a couple of weeks now, but they did last year also, and this is what we expect as we go into the colder months. This would be normal. But of the 62 that sold, almost half, 48%, sold at list price or more. So the Vaughan freehold market, very active, very competitive. Listings, we listed a bit more we're listing than what we've been listing last year, and that's been pretty consistent. We listed 108 new freehold properties last week. Months of inventory. Months of inventory went up a little bit to 2.3. And the rule is, the general rule, as months of inventory go up, prices come down. And as months of inventory come down, prices go up. Now sometimes there's a delay, so months of inventory here went up. We should be seeing prices come down. However, they've been on for the last couple of weeks going up and very, very strong. So overall, for weeks and weeks and weeks now, we've been in a seller's market, a very strong, very healthy seller's market. And that helps to explain why prices are going up. But the fact that months of inventory went up, you kind of got to, what's really hard to chart is the public sentiment. So as prices are going up, if you're on the fence and you're thinking, I'm thinking of selling in the spring, well, I personally know a lot of those sellers are coming onto the market now because, excuse me, because they see how strong the market is. So there's more people coming onto the market. So more listings versus sales helps to bring up months of inventory. And we should see this, my prediction, I hate predictions, my prediction is this should come down a little bit the following week. But very strong, very healthy Vaughan freehold market. Looking at Vaughan condos, keep something in mind while we talk about Vaughan condos. Sales are extremely low. So one or two different condo sales can really affect the average sold price. And so sales have been going up over the last few weeks. We sold 12 condos in Vaughan last week for week ending November 1st. Average sold price did go up a little bit, but generally speaking, average sold price has been coming down. It's only up a little bit for this week. I kind of feel the trend is still coming down. Compared to last year, we're a little bit higher than we were last year, but very close to last year's average sold price. We're selling less than what we sold last year. And listings, we're listing more. So we're selling less, we're listing more. 12 were purchased last week. We listed 44, but of the 12 that were purchased, there was actually 279 available for sale. Lots of choices in a small area like Vaughan, which helps explain why the months of inventory is so high. There's 5.4 months of inventory, closer to the top end of the balanced market. And being so close, well, what you'll find is there's certain buildings where there's maybe one or two condos for sale. There'll be more competition, and that condo will generally hold on to its price more. And there's other condos where there could be 15, 20 units for sale. What you're finding in those condos, it's very much a buyer's market. So you can actually do here, so I'm doing months of inventory for all of Vaughan, but you could calculate just for the building how many months of inventory based on how many are available for sale in that building versus how many are being purchased every week, and figure out, wow, there's a ton. The months of inventory in this building is very much in a buyer's market. So depending on the building, you can do your own chart or call me, I'll help you out with that. Okay, so City of Toronto, the big gorilla. We're talking about freehold prices. Just like Vaughan, prices shot up. Or maybe I should say Vaughan did just like things are happening in the City of Toronto area. Sales up slightly. Properties that sold at $2 million or more was 58 for last week. Pre-lockdown, we were selling 60. So we're very much up to where we were pre-lockdown. And pre-lockdown, again, was the high point of our year going into the lockdown. So we sold a little bit more at $2 million or more. Lots of activity there. Average sold price jumped up to a little over $1.4 million, the average freehold property in the Toronto. But we're still lower when it comes to average sold price than we were pre-lockdown, a little over 5% lower. Compared to last year, we're consistently higher, but for last week, we're almost 10% higher. We're talking about average sold price for the City of Toronto. Now last year we sold 31 at $2 million or more. This year for the same week we sold 58. So for sure that plays into the average sold price being higher. But I can tell you the City of Toronto, just like Vaughan, prices are higher for freehold. No matter how you slice it and dice it, you look at your neighborhood, your home is worth more than what it was this time last year compared to same homes just like yours. Okay, so sales. We sold 365 last week, so we're outpacing the sales that we did last year. And for most weeks, for a while now, we've been outpacing what has been purchased last year. So sales are higher this year and they were higher last week. Of those 365 that were sold, 62%, so 2/3 sold at list price or more. Very competitive market. Listings, we're a little bit higher than where we were last year, so we're buying more and we're listing more properties. Months of inventory is down slightly to 1.5, which helps explain why average sold price went up. Down here in the 1.5, 1.4 ranges, that's a very strong, very serious seller's market. And this is why you get all this competition. This is why you're seeing 2/3 selling at list price or more. It's so important you have a good realtor in your corner. If you're listing, so important to squeeze that extra money out of all the offers coming in. If you're buying, so important to not overpay, to have a good realtor in your corner. Very important now more than ever. Condos. You're going to know why so many condo owners are saying, seriously, buy my condo. Average sold price has been dropping for several weeks now. Right now, for the weekend of November 11th, the average sold price is $611,000. That's why I've asked you to leave in your comments below, which month do you feel we're going to hit the lowest average sold price when it comes to City of Toronto and condo prices? When we look at how many condos have sold at $1 million or more, only 6. I say only 6 because when you look at the previous weeks, we've been as high as 28. Last week was 17. When we look at pre-lockdown, we were at 40 in 1 week, selling at $1 million or more. So right now we're down to 6. And when we compare to where we were pre-lockdown average sold price, we're almost 14% lower average sold price than before we went into the lockdown. So condo prices headed one way right now. Compared to last year, we're at 8.5% lower average sold price. Last year, we were at $668,000 as an average sold price. This year, $611,000. Last year, we sold 24 during this week at $1 million or more. This week, we sold 6. And for sure, the fact that 24 were sold at $1 million or more has a lot to do with why the average sold price was higher. But think about what I just said. 24 sold at $1 million or more. This year, only 6. I got to tell you, there's a lot of condos that were in the $1 million range, 1.1, $1,050,000, that are now just under the $1 million. And like I had said earlier, depending on the building you're in, there's going to be a ton of competition, and you got to do something to stand out. So when you come onto the market, if you're trying to sell your condo, my advice is look at what the competition is, and it would be naive to think that someone's only coming to look at your condo. Same thing with houses. It's naive to think that someone's coming to look at your detached home and only yours. They're looking at everybody else around you also. So if you know you're competing and you know prices are coming down, you got to look at the competition. You're either going to help the competition sell their home, or they're going to help to sell your home. If you have any questions on what I just said down there, comment below. I'll explain more. Sales. Last week, 211 condos were purchased. A third sold at list price or more. Now, you might think, wow, that's pretty good, a third. You got to understand, in any market, no matter how bad, there's going to be some sellers prepared to price for a quick sale, and there's going to be some buyers prepared when they see the right deal in the right condo to jump on it quickly and buy right away. So this doesn't surprise me, but compared to the other markets, the freehold, 2/3 are being bought at list price or more. Here, it's just 1/3. So 211 were bought. 900 new condo listings came out, which is a little bit lower than the previous week. And the weeks before that, we were well over 1,000 new listings. So new listings are coming down a bit. Still double than what was coming onto the market this time last year. Now, some of you are thinking, we're buying 211, 900 are coming out for new listings. The 900 is not really, although it's important, not the real number to focus on. 211 were purchased. But at the end of the week, there's almost 5,500 condos available for sale. So that's accumulation of the ones that never sold the previous week. We subtract what's been terminated and come off the market and what's been sold. So if we're buying at the same rate the following week, we're only going to buy about 200. And you're starting off with almost 5,500 available. There's lots of choice out there, lots of competition. Buyers are feeling confident that they could negotiate. Sellers are a little bit nervous that they're going to be sitting on the market for a long time. And when we look at months of inventory, it really kind of helps paint that picture of what's going on out there. Months of inventory for condos in Toronto jumped up to 6 months of inventory. And that's very much borderline between the top end of the balanced market and the bottom end of the buyer's market. And if you look at individual buildings, there's many buildings in Toronto that are very much in a buyer's market situation. So that's why there's a lot of sellers out there saying, seriously, buy my condo. That's the market report for this week. I'll have a new one for you in a week. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. Like this video, comment, subscribe. It's all good. If you have any questions, give me a call. Have a great day.